Alright, so here's the Nest thermostat. I got this a while back during Black Friday when it was on sale. Anyways, let's take a quick look in the box here. So just a plain Google white box. Not much going on here. So let's open it up. It's actually an empty box. So what we have left here is the manual, more cardboard, and a couple screws. So what's missing is a couple of batteries, the mounting plate, and the device itself, which let's go take a look at now. Alright, so here it is installed onto the wall here. Oh, you know what, let me pull that out first. And what I did was I used this old power socket plate here. And as you can see, I routed the wires through the screw hole and then use the screw to that goes through the power socket holes, I guess you could say, and mount it this way. That's because this plate here would cover some of the imperfection, especially that when we painted the wall, there was obviously the old unit was kind of like this size, so this way it just kind of works and it looks pretty nice. Yeah, also as you can see here, I only have two wires, the W wire and the R wire. There's no C wires. And so what happened is when you only have those two wires is that you're going to be missing out on some features. And one of the features that you're going to be missing out is the presence sensing. So you know, usually you would wake up when you get close to it, but that uses more power. Also, you're gonna be using up way more batteries without the C wire, and also that this would show some errors. Like right now, it would have a note, an exclamation mark saying, "Oh, N260," and when we go in the settings here, you can see there's an exclamation mark there and the equipment error. Go inside, again exclamation mark and 260, and then another exclamation mark, and we go inside, and then it gives you a link that you're gonna have to look at on your phone, but basically it doesn't have stable power. And because it has stable power, it will disable some features further. So one thing that typically happens is that it will disconnect from the Wi-Fi, which means you cannot control it on your phone, but it will still follow through the schedule and the presets that you have. But obviously it won't I don't know if it actually logs if it's running or not as well. I don't think it does when it's not connected to Wi-Fi. Like, I don't think it remembers it, and then when it has a Wi-Fi connection, logs it. But yeah, and like I said, it kills the battery really quickly, and when it dies, it turns on the furnace by default. Right? Some units, especially the one that I had before, is that if the battery is dead, it will just turn it off. And so this happened to me like once or twice, where I'd wake up in the middle of the night sweating because it's so hot because the battery died on this unit. So what we're gonna do is install something inside the furnace. So this is where the Nest Power Connector comes in, and so a typical Google box here, and what you have inside is obviously the manual, and inside the manual there's actually other things too. You have this sticky pad, this labels here, and then multiple ways of installation, but we're going to be using this one where we have the two wires RW from the thermostat, and has these connectors here, and then you have the unit itself, and then from the unit you get three wires to connect to the furnace. So basically how it works is that it takes the W and R wire plus the C wire, combine them, and into two wires, and then somehow sends more power to the thermostat, which is pretty ingenious. It makes it a lot easier to install than rewiring your house. But yeah, so that's the instruction, and then you got this other warranty or legal stuff here, and then you have the unit itself that has the three white wires that goes to the furnace, and then the two gray wires that goes to your thermostat. And if we look at the wires here, you can see they're nicely thinned, and you don't have to strip or anything like that. That's all done for you. We just basically need to plug this in, and then to connect these wires to the existing wire, we have these two connectors where you will plug this, where you would plug this wire in here and then the existing wire there, connecting them together. I mean, there's also those, what do you call this, I don't know what you call those, you can use to connect two wires, but this is, I guess, makes it pretty secure and simple, and you just plug it in. You don't have to do any kind of twisting or anything like that, and it's it looks like it's going to be fully covered, so you're not going to be short-circuiting or anything like that. But yeah, so we're going to be installing this. Probably going to not do it on camera, but we'll see. So I just installed the Nest Power Connector, so it should have presence sensing now, and let's go test it up. Oh, it definitely works now. So, and yeah, and we're not seeing a note anymore, so let's go check it out. Yeah, definitely no exclamation marks or warnings. Everything is all good. Yeah. Well, speaking of which, let's try out that presence sensing and see how effective it is. So the smart thermostat is in the hallway there, just outside the powder room. It hasn't seen us yet, but if we go walk closer to it, oh, spotted us. So we're about 10-12 feet away. It's definitely on. Okay, what about from the side here? How well can it detect us? Let's just walk casually to it. Oh, that's pretty delayed. So presence sensing is not very wide, but has decent distance. So what can you do with this Nest thermostat? Well, let's check it out. So you can see the current temperature, which is 22 degrees. It's set to 21, and our preset is eco mode right now. So in this case, it's the, I guess you could say, least warmest or coolest. But anyways, you tap the side here, you get more information. You have today's weather and time. So it's raining 6 degrees Celsius. Indoor is again 23 degrees, and then now we see the humidity 43%. And on the right here we have some settings, and we can turn on, turn off the heat. We can hold the temperature it is right now until sometime, and yeah, settings. So we can dive into the settings. So equipment, we can check at various information on here. The battery is good. Tells us some measurements here, voltage and resistance. And then the Wi-Fi is good. We have the firmware version, and then it says that it's connected to my Google account. We can restart the unit if we want to, or we can reset the whole thing. So yeah, and if we go back here, we can change the temperature by swiping on the edge here, up and down. But yeah, and that's pretty much it, really. I mean, most of the functionality is actually on the app itself. So let's take a look at that. So here's the Google Home app on my phone, and I've already added the new thermostat as a device to this app, and so we can access it via this icon here. And here we have a similar kind of UI where we have our temperature, our preset, but we get to see until when it's active for. And then here on the left, we can turn on, turn off the heat. We can choose a different preset and have it active until our schedule changes. Or we can change a different preset and set the time until which is active. Right now it's running on all in schedule, which you can access via this gear icon on the top right here. And this is kind of where the UI could be a little bit better because everything is kind of buried in that gear icon. And then here, well, first we can take a look at the temperature presets here. And we have the settings here, but we can also see our temperature presets. So as you can see, there's like a lot of clicking and diving into to access what we need. And now we can see our presets. So we have 3 presets that is available by default: comfort, eco, and sleep. I've added a few more, but I'm not really using them because I found that I actually just need the 3. And the nice thing about that too is that they have their own icons. And if we click the one, the arrow on the right, you can access what temperature that preset can be set at, and we can do that for every single one of them. And then here, obviously, we can create our custom presets. So that's how we set up the presets, and then now we can set up our schedule. So to do that, we go back up again, and then we have our schedule here, and we can set the schedule for every single day of the week, and we can add a preset and then set what time it becomes active. And yeah, you can keep adding presets, so you can have it very granular. But in my case, like I said, I find that 3 presets is good enough. And basically what it does for me, or how I set it up, is that at night it goes to the middle preset, which is sleep, and then in the morning it goes to the warmest preset, which is comfort, and then at noon it goes to the lowest preset, which is eco, and then in the afternoon it goes back to the middle again, and then in the evening it goes up higher in temperature, so comfort. And once you've set up your presets or schedule for that day, you can then click on this button here, and then you can copy it for the other days. That is if you want the same schedule for every single day. I and my wife works from home, and so we're using the same schedule for every single day. But if you're not at home during the weekdays, then you can obviously have different schedule for the weekday and the weekends. Or you can use presence sensing. So here, presence sensing, what it does is, the device itself has presence sensing, but here you can also use your phone's location to inform Google Home or the thermostat that somebody is home or not. So when someone is not home, then you can go down to eco mode. Assuming everyone in the house has a phone, has a Google account, has location enabled, and is all added to the Google Home. Because then, if you have it just, let's say, if you have it just for the one person, if that person leaves the house, you'll think no one's home, and then it will go down to eco. And then obviously people are going to be shivering in the cold, and you don't want that unless they walk by the thermostat and like, ooh, someone's home, and then it warms it up to whatever schedule it's supposed to be at. So be careful when using this. I'm not using. I mean, I have it set up to use my phone location, but I don't it doesn't use my phone's location to adjust the temperature and stuff. So yeah, I use it for something else. Okay, anyway, so that's the settings. Oh, lastly, here you can also look at this energy dashboard, so you can see how often the furnace is on for the day, every hour. You can aggregate it for the week or the month. So it's pretty nice that you can see how often. Well, in my case, in natural gas, how much it's using. Well, you can speculate how much, but you can also see it on your whoever your natural gas provider is. But at least in this case, you can see how often this thing is turning on and turning off. So that's pretty neat. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it for the application here. And so So what do I think of the Nest thermostat? Well, I like it. I quite like it actually, and I think I'd prefer this over the smart thermostat, which is more expensive, mainly because this behave more like a traditional thermostat for the most part. In that you know what you're getting. You know when it's on, you can manually set the schedule. With the added benefit of it being Wi-Fi, you can control it on your phone. It has presence sensing. Yeah, you can see the energy dashboard and all that stuff. That aside, if you don't have a C-wire, then you will need a Nest power connector, or you rewire your house. Also, there are other options as well, but this makes it really easy compared to all the other options, and it prevents all the issues that you would get if you don't have a C-wire that I mentioned before. So I really recommend this, and if you get one, I think you can enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Bye now.